مثل الفريقين كالأعمى والأصم والبصير والسميع هل يستويان مثلا أفلا تذكرون.
The example of the two parties is that one is blind and deaf, and the other capable of seeing and hearing. Can the two be equal? Will you then not heed?
Point 28. Can the attitude and ultimate end of both these types of people be the same? Obviously, he who fails to see the right way and ignores the instruction of the guide who directs him to the right way will necessarily stumble and meet with some terrible mishap. However, he who perceives the right way and follows the instructions of his guide will reach his destination, and reach it safely. The same difference is found between the two parties mentioned here. One of these carefully observes the realities of the universe and pays heed to the teachings of God's messengers. The other party, however, neither uses their eyes properly to perceive God's signs nor pays heed to his messengers. The behavior of the two parties is, therefore, bound to be different. And when their behavior is different, there is no reason to believe that their ultimate end will be identical. Point 29.
وَلَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا نُوحًا إِلَى قَوْمِهِ إِنِّي لَكُمْ نَذِيرٌ مُبِينٌ.
Such were the circumstances when we sent forth Noah, peace be upon him, to his people. He said, I have been sent to you to warn you plainly.
أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا اللَّهَ إِنِّي أَخَافُ عَلَيْكُمْ عَذَابَ يَوْمٍ أَلِيمٍ.
That you may worship none but Allah, or else I fear for you the chastisement of a grievous day.
9. Ends 47 to 50 of Surah Al-Araf should be kept in view. Point 30. This is the same thing that has been put into the mouth of Muhammad, peace be upon him, in ayats 2 to 3, 31.
فقال الملأ الذين كفروا من قومه ما نراك إلا بشرا مثلنا وما نراك اتبعك إلا الذين هم أراذلنا بادي الرأي وما نرى لكم علينا من فضل بل نظنكم كاذبين.
The elders among Noah's own people, who had refused to follow him, responded, We see you as merely a human being like ourselves, nor do we find among those who follow you except the lowliest of our folk, those who follow you without any proper reason. We see nothing in you to suggest that you are any better than us. Rather, we believe you to be liars.
The same foolish objection was being raised by the people against the Prophet, peace be upon him. They argued like this: You are a man like us. You eat and drink, you walk and sleep and have a family, and there is nothing in you that might show that you have been sent by God. C.E.N. Surah Yasin. 32. The big people of Makkah passed the same remarks about those who followed the Prophet, peace be upon him. They taunted him with things like these: Your followers consist of mere inexperienced boys or slaves or the lowest strata of society, in short, of such people as are credulous and lack common sense and wisdom. Refer to ends 34 to 37 of Surah Al-An'am, and en. 75 of Surah Yunus. 33. This is to say, you claim that you are the favored ones of God whose blessings are on you, and that those who do not follow your way are under his wrath. But the reverse of this is true, for it is we who have been favored with wealth, servants and power, and you possess nothing of the sort. Please point out anything in which you are superior to us. Point 3.
قال يا قوم أرأيتم إن كنت على بينة من ربي وآتاني رحمة من عنده فعميت عليكم أنلزمكموها وأنتم لها كارهون.
Noah said, peace be upon him, My people, if I base myself on a clear evidence from my Lord, and I have also been blessed by His mercy, to which you have been blind, how can we force it upon you, despite your aversion to it?
3:4. This is the same thing that has been put into the mouth of the Prophet, peace be upon him, in Ayat 17. That is, at first I recognized the reality of Tawheed by observing keenly the signs of God in the universe and in my own self. Then the same was confirmed by revelation to me. This shows that all the prophets acquired the knowledge of the unseen by observation and contemplation. Then Allah blessed them with the actual knowledge of the same at the time of their appointment as prophets.
وَيَا قَوْمِ لَا أَسْأَلُكُمْ عَلَيْهِ مَالًا إِنْ أَجْرِيَ إِلَّا عَلَى اللَّهِ وَمَا أَنَا بِطَارِدِ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا إِنَّهُمْ مُلَاقُو رَبِّهِمْ وَلَكِنِّي أَرَاكُمْ قَوْمًا تَجْهَلُونَ.
My people, I seek no recompense from you. My recompense is only with Allah, nor will I drive away those who believe. They are destined to meet their Lord, but I find you to be an ignorant people.
35. This was to bring home to them the fact that he had no selfish motive in the performance of his mission, as if to say, I am conveying the admonition to you without any demand or hope or expectation of worldly gains. Nay, I am bearing all the sufferings in the hope that you may at last realize that I have no axe to grind. And you cannot point out anything to show that I have any personal or selfish interest before me in the mission of the message. C. En. 70 of Surah Al-Mu'minun, En. 17 of Surah Saba Vand, En. 41 of Surah Ash-Shura. 36. That is, their true worth will be known only when they shall meet their Lord. Therefore it is not proper for you to treat them with contempt here in this world. Maybe they are precious stones, their Lord alone knows, and you are treating them as mere worthless stones. See, Surah Al-An'am, Ayat 52, Surah Al-Kahf, Ayat 28.
وَيَا قَوْمِ مَنْ يَنْصُرُنِي مِنَ اللَّهِ إِنْ طَرَدتُّهُمْ أَفَلَا تَذَكَّرُونَ.
My people, were I to drive the people of faith away, who will protect me from the chastisement of Allah? Do you not understand even this much?
وَلَا أَقُولُ لَكُمْ عِنْدِي خَزَائِنُ اللَّهِ وَلَا أَعْلَمُ الْغَيْبَ وَلَا أَقُولُ إِنِّي مَلَكٌ وَلَا أَقُولُ لِلَّذِينَ تَزْدَرِي أَعْيُنُكُمْ لَن يُؤْتِيَهُمُ اللَّهُ خَيْرًا اللَّهُ أَعْلَمُ بِمَا فِي أَنفُسِهِمْ إِنِّي إِذًا لَّمِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ.
I do not say to you that I possess Allah's treasures, nor that I have access to the realm beyond the ken of perception, nor do I claim to be an angel, nor do I say regarding those whom you look upon with disdain that Allah will not bestow any good upon them. Allah knows best what is in their hearts. Were I to say so, I would be one of the wrongdoers.
37. This is the answer to their objection that he was no more than a man like themselves. Prophet Noah, peace be upon him, admitted this. In fact, I am a man and I never claimed to be more than this. My only claim is that God has shown me the right way of knowledge and action, and you are welcome to test this in any way you like. But instead of this, you are asking me question about the unseen, though I never claimed to have its knowledge. You ask me to produce such things as can be produced only by that person who possesses God's treasures, and I never claimed to possess them. You object that my physical life is like that of other men, though I never claimed that I was an angel and not a man. The true test of my claim is that you should ask me about the true creeds, the principles of morality and culture, and not about frivolous things about the future events, for I never claimed to possess their knowledge.
قالوا يا نوح قد جادلتنا فأكثرت جدالنا فأتنا بما تعدنا إن كنت من الصادقين.
They said, O Noah, surely you have disputed with us and have prolonged your dispute. Now bring upon us the chastisement that you threaten us with. Do so if you are truthful.
قال إنما يأتيكم به الله إن شاء وما أنتم بمعجزين.
Noah said, only Allah will bring it upon you if He so wills, and you will be utterly unable to frustrate that.
ولا ينفعكم نصحي إن أردت أن أنصح لكم إن كان الله يريد أن يغويكم هو ربكم وإليه ترجعون.
If I want to give you good advice, it will not profit you if Allah Himself has decided to let you go astray. He is your Lord, and to Him will you be returned.
38. That is, all my efforts to do good to you cannot prove effective, if Allah has decided to withhold the right way from you because of your obduracy in evil and the lack of interest in good ways. For Allah lets people go astray on the way they choose for themselves.
If Allah Himself has decided to let you go astray. Such was their obduracy, mischievousness, and absolute disregard for righteous behavior, that quite understandably God should decide not to direct them to the right way and let them, as they wished, stumble in error. Once God had made such a decision, no one's effort to direct them to the right way, not even the prophets, could be of any avail.
أم يقولون افتراه قل إن افتريته فعلي إجرامي وأنا بريء مما تجرمون.
O Muhammad, peace be upon him, do they say that he himself has forged this message? Tell them, if I have forged this, the guilt of it will fall upon me, but I am not responsible for the crimes you are committing.
"39. The wording of the verse shows that during the recital of the story of Prophet Noah, peace be upon him, the opponents of the Prophet, peace be upon him, might have felt that he himself had invented that story in order to hit them hard indirectly. So they might have interrupted him, saying, 'You are inventing such stories as these in order to apply these to us and hit us hard indirectly.' That is why the narration of the story has been broken to answer their false accusation. And the fact is that the mean people always behave like this. As they have no interest in goodness, they would turn to the dark side of everything. Even if one gives them wise counsel or teaches them a useful lesson or warns them of an error, they would never benefit from these nor mend their ways. Instead of this, they would search out for that aspect of the matter which will not only undo the wisdom and goodness of the counsel but also bring an accusation against the admonisher. It is obvious that in this way, even the best of counsels can be made void and ineffective, if the hearer dubs that as a hit and takes it ill as an affront. Moreover, their thinking is always based on suspicion and mistrust. Supposing there is a certain story which appears to be true, a wise man will take it as a fact and learn a lesson from it, even if it applies exactly to his own condition and points out his error. On the contrary, a suspicious and crooked man will at once jump to the conclusion without any proof at all that the story had been invented for the sole purpose of applying it to him in order to hit him hard. The same was the condition of those who accused the Prophet, peace be upon him, that he about the unseen, though I never claimed to have its knowledge. You ask me to produce such things as can be produced only by that himself had forged the story and ascribed it to Allah to make it more effective. Allah has asked him to say to them, if I have forged the story, I shall have to bear its consequences, but this cannot lessen the punishments of the crimes you are committing for which you alone will be held responsible.
وَأُوحِيَ إِلَى نُوحٍ أَنَّهُ لَن يُؤْمِنَ مِن قَوْمِكَ إِلَّا مَن قَدْ آمَنَ فَلَا تَبْتَئِسْ بِمَا كَانُوا يَفْعَلُونَ.
It was revealed to Noah that no more of your people other than those who already believe will ever come to believe. So do not grieve over their deeds.
وَاصْنَعِ الْفُلْكَ بِأَعْيُنِنَا وَوَحْيِنَا وَلَا تُخَاطِبْنِي فِي الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا إِنَّهُمْ مُغْرَقُونَ.
And build the ark under our eyes and our direction, and do not supplicate me concerning those who have engaged in wrongdoing. They are doomed to be drowned.
40. This verse lays down the limits of the divine law of respite. When the message of a prophet has been conveyed to a people and is rejected, they are granted respite from punishment only as long as there is the possibility that some of them might accept it. But when there remains no such possibility and there is left nothing but evil element among them, Allah does not grant them any further respite. And this is a manifestation of His mercy, just as for the safety of the good fruit the rotten ones should be thrown away and discarded. Conversely, it shall be an act of cruelty to the good people and the future generations if pity is shown to those wicked people who are incorrigible.
وَيَصْنَعُ الْفُلْكَ وَكُلَّمَا مَرَّ عَلَيْهِ مَلَأٌ مِّن قَوْمِهِ سَخِرُوا مِنْهُ قَالَ إِن تَسْخَرُوا مِنَّا فَإِنَّا نَسْخَرُ مِنكُمْ كَمَا تَسْخَرُونَ.
As Noah was building the ark, whenever the elders of his nation passed by him, they would scoff at him. He said, if you scoff at us, we too scoff at you in like manner.
فَسَوْفَ تَعْلَمُونَ مَنْ يَأْتِيهِ عَذَابٌ يُخْزِيهِ وَيَحِلُّ عَلَيْهِ عَذَابٌ مُقِيمٌ.
You will come to know who will be struck by a humiliating chastisement, and who will be subjected to an unceasing torment.
41. This is a very appropriate example of the points of view of those who look merely at the surface of things and of others who know the reality about them. It appears that when Prophet Noah, peace be upon him, was building the ark on the land, it looked to be a ridiculous act to those wicked people who did not believe in him. They jeered at him as if to say, just see the madness of the old man. He wishes to float a ship on the land. For they could never imagine that after a few days, a ship would actually float there. Therefore naturally they regarded that act of Prophet Noah, peace be upon him, to be a clear proof of his madness. Probably they might be pointing their fingers at him and the ark he was constructing, saying to one another, "Have you any doubt now, if you had any before, that he is really a mad man, who is constructing a ship to float on the waterless land?" But the one, who had the knowledge of the reality and who knew that a ship would actually be needed there in the near future, was laughing at their ignorance and lack of knowledge of the real matter and their arrogant self-satisfaction, as if to say, "How foolish these people are." The catastrophe is threatening them overhead, but they are not only self-satisfied but also regard me mad, who has warned them of it and who is himself making preparations to meet it. And these are exactly the two ways, in general, of judging the wisdom or folly of things. One man judges an act to be wise by looking merely at the surface, while the other goes down deep into it and knows it to be foolish. Likewise, the former considers an act to be foolish and mad, while the latter, who has the real knowledge of the matter, knows that it is based on wisdom and foresight, and is the very same thing that was required under the circumstances.